From the 1011 Now streaming studio, this is The Night Beat.
Sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Lincoln.
Good evening, I'm Jessica Blum with your headlines for Wednesday, November 12th. We start tonight near Cortland at the scene of a crash along Highway 77 that took the lives of 2 people and a large portion of road had been shut down. The Lancaster County Sheriff's Office says the crash happened just after 4 p.m. They say a Buick was entering that intersection when a northbound F-150 rammed into them. Deputies say both occupants of that Buick have died, one at the scene and one at a nearby hospital. The driver of that F-150 only suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Here's what deputies had to say on scene.
That's exactly what we're working to determine right now, to figure out exactly what led up to the crash, what those events were, and what caused this terrible crash today.
A few hours later, LSO did give word that all lanes have since reopened. Now to another crash in Lincoln near UNLZ's campus involving a school bus shortly also after 4 p.m. This is the scene near North 44th and St. Paul Avenue. Extra units were called in, and at least one person was taken to the hospital, but the extent of injuries is still unknown. We will make sure to bring you any additional details both on air and online. With new details tonight, we take you back to a developing story from earlier this week. On Sunday, a man in the midst of a mental health crisis was taken into Lincoln police custody before turning a gun on himself while still handcuffed. Nearly 3 days later, police released body and cruiser camera images, which Lincoln Police Chief Michon Morrow says show officers following policy, even though the man's hidden gun wasn't found. According to Morrow, that policy requires a search to include a frisk and examination of a person's pockets and baggage, and handcuffs to be double locked with palms behind the back and facing up. The chief says that the body camera images they provided show the officers doing exactly that, but still unfortunately missing a gun tucked inside his pants.
They did search him as depicted by the photos, from dumping his pockets, yes, around his body, along the waistband, on his legs, but the investigation is still ongoing.
Morrow did also describe the move the man was able to reach the gun as very difficult to perform. She says that because this death was the result of the choice of an individual, not an officer's actions, LPD will be handling the investigation themselves. The officer whose cruiser the man killed himself in has been placed on paid administrative leave pending the result of that investigation. At the press conference, LPD stressed the importance of shedding light on mental health resources in the community, such as the 988 Crisis Lifeline, a hotline open 24/7 for anyone experiencing a mental health crisis. Other available local resources can be found linked in this full story on 1011now.com. A second baby has been surrendered following expanded revisions to Nebraska's safe haven law. DHHS says the healthy baby was taken to a safe haven location in northwest Nebraska on Saturday. No additional details will be released due to HIPAA regulations. Lawmakers expanded the age of the infant from 30 days to 90 days last year. State statute now allows a baby up to 90 days old to be left with an employee on duty at one of 4 locations: a licensed hospital in the state, a staffed fire station, a staffed law enforcement agency, or an emergency care provider without facing criminal prosecution. The first baby surrendered with the revisions was in northeast Nebraska earlier this year. You can learn more about the safe haven law and resources available on this story on 1011now.com. A new $46 million library in downtown Lincoln is a small step closer to reality, as the mayor announced a contractor was selected for the project. During a news conference Wednesday morning, Lincoln Mayor Lyrian Gaylor Baird announced Sampson Construction was chosen out of a field of 7 applicants to be the contractor for the project. Sampson has built a few of Lincoln's other libraries and most recently finished the Sandhills Global Youth Sports Complex. For Sampson, they say when they look back at previous cornerstone projects they've done in Lincoln, they felt more part of the community and proud of their work.
Those are the ones that when you visit with family and friends, you get to say, hey, we built this, or maybe someone in our office, in our accounting department or marketing department say, I worked on that. And you feel like a community builder and not just the contractor. This is one of those projects.
And enhance overall quality of life.
The mayor also announced the in-library cafe will be operated by the Mill. The hope is for construction to start in late 2026 and ribbon cutting to be in 2028. And during that same time frame, Project O Street will be taking place. Right now, Husker students and fans can help save lives while helping the university to win $1 million, something UNL accomplished last year. The We Give Blood Drive competition between all 18 Big Ten schools is underway, and so far Nebraska is almost in the lead, but they need your help. As of Wednesday evening, the Big Red is in second place just behind Wisconsin. Nebraska won the very first We Give Blood competition last year with that grand prize. This year, one Husker volleyball player is encouraging others to show up this week to put Nebraska in the lead and help save a life.
I mean, it makes me just have a lot of school spirit, honestly. Go Big Red, because we have such an awesome fan base, as you know, and it just shows that not only on the court, but off the court as well. I mean, you see Husker Nation representing everywhere, and this is just one of the few examples of how they do it off the court, off the field.
On Friday, donations will be happening at Memorial Stadium from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you donate blood at the stadium, you'll be entered into a raffle to win Nebraska-Iowa volleyball tickets. And speaking of volleyball, Danny Busboom Kelly's first recruiting class at Nebraska is like all the others before her, loaded with talent. The Huskers add 3 players on Wednesday, all ranked among the nation's best. Gabby DeVita is an outside hitter from the Detroit area. Jaden Robinson ranks 10th nationally in her grade. Kiona Williams is number 8, according to Prep Day. All 3 attended the Huskers' Dream Team camp and were initially recruited by John Cook. Nebraska men's basketball, women's basketball, and more Husker sports all touting their own wins with new recruits, and more up on our website under the Sports tab. Well, let's take a look at your 7-day forecast to round out your night beat. You'll look at temperatures nearing 70 degrees again on Thursday, but our warmest of the week will be Friday and what we've deemed as a top 10-11 day. That'll also be forecasted to break the record for that date, currently at 75 degrees from the year 1990, and still warm for this time of the year into the weekend on Saturday before precipitation chances look to increase early next week, with temperatures falling to more seasonal temperatures in the lower 50s, if not the upper 40s, by next Tuesday.
You've been listening to The Night Beat.
Sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Lincoln.
Watch, listen, and stream on the 1011 app on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.